I talked 2 days ago about intention times mechanism equals the outcome of life. And this is another level for which you can think about in terms of the outcome that you have in the game of life. So, how are you playing in the game of life? Let me just quickly run through the different levels. Different levels, right? So, what is not playing? What's the definition of not playing? Not playing basically means you know you are living life, but you're not open. You're so resistant. You're almost in a constant breakdown mode, or you want to do and then you self sabotage. You don't really want to put your best foot forward. You're very, very reserved in life in the different areas. I'm going to put this in the game of life into the different categories in the wheels of life. That's going to come in the just in a sec. I'm going to get you to do a very short 5-minute exercise. And you're not open. You're not open. You're resistant. You really don't put your best foot forward. That's not the not playing category. And I want you guys to rank this in the different areas of life in 1 second. What is just playing? Just playing basically means you know that you want to get somewhere in your life. You want to, still have hope, you have dreams, but you have such a tremendous amount of doubt that you stop yourself from going forward. And our special speaker, Rhonda Britton, she is going to talk about fear. And I think that is just going to be so insightful for all of you to listen to. So just playing means you're open to learning, you're open to, so you're not as resistant. You really do have the intention to play, but you play at such a reserved level. Like you're just dipping your toe in. You're one step in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You really do not give yourself the best run. You literally just surviving. I would say not playing is at just playing is at the survival level, whereas not playing is you just scraping through life. Scraping through life. You're not really wanting to even think about it. You want to bury it under the carpet. Just playing is just surviving. You're putting in the effort, but you're just really dreading where you're going. Now, the next level up in terms of the game of life is playing not to lose. Playing not to lose. So, what does that mean? There is a significant difference between if you're in a relationship where you're in the relationship and you want to do things to not lose the person versus if you were in the relationship to really create something magical with the person. The energy for which you put into the relationship will be very, very different. Both in this example of relationship, you are in the relationship and you still do things for the other person, but the angle for which you come from to stay in the relationship is very, very different. One is to, that you just don't want to lose the person because you don't want to be lonely. You just are in the relationship out of the fear. It's driven by fear. And the other scenario, you're in the relationship to create something magical. It's in the playing to win category where you give it all. You play full out. You don't take no for an answer. When obstacles come your way, you do not bend. So even if you feel you were defeated somewhat, you stand up and you recover because the vision of what you want to achieve is just way bigger than your ego in the game. And I remember before I started my business, I was literally playing. I thought I was just playing, just dipping my toe in to to see how coaching is working for me. I wasn't really putting all of myself. I wasn't willing to be shown, to be seen. I wasn't willing to let the whole world know about my story. I was still more willing to carry the shame, well, carrying the plain small game. So I was, it was more comfortable to just play small than to have myself completely seen. So I was literally just in the just playing, and then I upgraded a level to play not to lose, in the sense that it was more important that I don't go full out. It was more important for me to stay safe. I have this safety barrier that it's more important for me to stay comfortable, as opposed to really extending myself out there and play on the smaller branches. There's a phrase that we say, you play on the smaller branches, on the thin branches, because the thin branches is the one that is most likely for you to take the risk and for it to fall. But you really have to go out there and play full out if you really wanted to win in the game of life. And when I got the distinction of what I was doing in my life, that I was dipping my toes in, I wasn't playing full out. And you guys would know intuitively when you do something, whether you're playing full out or you're playing because you don't want to lose, or you just playing. Intuitively, you know where you are at. And it's a very different feeling when you give yourself and play full out, being fully in the present. And it really doesn't matter whether you win or lose. You really give yourself to it all. That's a very different feeling. And when I started shifting my gear in terms of my business, to go from not just playing and not playing to not lose, I shifted gear to playing to win. And that is how I was able to assemble this panel of speakers on my show, because I was willing to be rejected. I was willing to be looking like a fool. I was willing to let the people see how imperfect I am, and see and hear my story and just the struggle that I have to go through, which previously I simply just I wasn't even willing to share that. Even though I know that I have a gift to share to the world. And when I shifted gear, everything literally exploded. Everything exploded. And how I'm feeling right now in terms of playing to win and giving my all, giving my absolute best. And I can put my hand on my heart saying that I have done my best at putting this show together. I literally showing myself without, and a lot of you can testify that I have been, you have seen me pretty much naked on the show, fully peeling my onions, to be seen in front of you, to be vulnerable in front of you, to just let you see my story and how I was able to go from where I was to where I am right now. And that is what it takes to do something extraordinary and propel your life. And like what my company name's called, Leap, to have you leap from where you are right now to where you need to go. Now, the short exercise is just, if you Google the wheel of life, just, can someone type this in for me? Wheel of life in the chat. It has got different categories. For example, the wheel of life has career, finance, personal growth, health, family, relationship, social life, attitude. These are the 8 categories that I have on the wheels of life, but feel free to Google those wheel of life and rank yourself on these 4 different categories: not playing, just playing, playing not to lose, playing to win. So this is a different twist. This is my twist to the wheel of life exercise. And rank yourself. And also, but rank yourself on these 4 different levels as an exercise. And then once you finish ranking yourself, have an honest conversation with yourself and say, what would it take for me to go from just playing in life to playing to win? What would it take for me to play not to lose, to go to playing to win? What would it take for me to go from not playing to playing to win? Okay?